All right, right now I am in Gettysburg at the Gettysburg Museum of History, and we've done several unboxing videos here showing some of the artifacts that roll into this place on a daily basis. And I just happened to be outside when Jennifer, the local mail carrier, pulled up with another box. Jennifer, how many boxes come into this place?
Too many.
Too many, all right. So, anyway, we're going to see what Jennifer brought us today.
Once again, we're at the Gettysburg Museum of History's annex in my new office, and backed by popular demand is an unboxing video. We've done a few of these in the past, and this is the first time we did an unboxing in this section of the museum, but we got some interesting things that came in. This arrived by FedEx today, and this arrived a day or so ago, but I haven't opened it yet. So we're gonna go ahead and open these and see what has been sent. And I believe I know mostly what's in here, but I haven't officially seen it yet. So it'll be interesting to check it out for the first time. Get out our handy Fallschirmjäger knife, make a little cut here. It's taped really well. Well, good, that wasn't too awkward. Sometimes these things get a little awkward to open. But I believe this is an autograph collection, and most of this will probably go on our website. You know, we're a museum, and then we have an military antiques business as well, where we sell items to raise money for the museum. So it looks like we have some Third Reich autographs here. Let's go through them. Pull these out. So here we have an Adolf Hitler signed photograph, and it looks like it's a Hoffman photograph. Yes, it is. Very nice, clear fountain pen signature, hand signed by Adolf Hitler. Now we'll offer this on our website. We have plenty of items signed by Hitler in our collections, but this is a really good one. Good meaning the signature has good contrast, and it's very bold and dark. Some signatures, of course, fade over time, and one of the more desired formats of a Hitler autograph will be on a photograph for collectors and for value-wise. Next, we have a Heinrich Himmler signed photo. Now, this is a really early one. I can tell by the way he looks in this photo. This, too, is a Hoffman photo. Later on, he had his own, and Hoffman was Hitler's personal photographer. And later on, Himmler got his own personal photographer. And most of his later photos from, say, the late 30s on would have been by his personal photographer. But again, this is an ink signature in fountain ink, signed H. Himmler. So it's a pretty good one, very bold and dark. So this is a card signed by Martin Bormann. He has a very unique autograph, and that's just a message on there. Pretty rare autograph. I don't know if I've ever seen it in this exact format before, but you know, we've had letters signed by him before, but again, a nice fountain pen signature. Now this is pretty historic, and we may end up keeping this. I'm not sure yet. This is a Christmas card, actually, from Adolf Hitler to Gretel Braun, who is the sister of Eva Braun. And Gretel Braun, on the last day of his life, became his sister-in-law because he married Eva Braun in the bunker in Berlin. And yeah, this is on his stationery card, dated 24 December 1934. And yeah, so it's basically a Christmas card from Hitler to his future sister-in-law. That's pretty historic. I mean, anything that's related to Ava or Gretel Braun. And that's another interesting thing. Gretel Braun married an SS officer, general named Hermann Fiegerlein, and Hitler had him shot for desertion. So he killed his own brother-in-law on the last day of his life, right before he died, I guess. And anyway, interesting dynamic there. So here's a Rudolf Hess signed photo, and of course he was one of the top Nazis. And he was the one that flew over to England to try to negotiate some kind of a peace deal with England. And this is a really bold signed photograph with an inscription. You don't see too many of these, because he went over there, he kind of fell out of favor. A lot of his stuff was discarded. He ended up in prison, and he ended up dying in Spandau prison, hung himself, I believe it was. But yeah, you don't see big long inscriptions like that too much with Hess. So again, this is a pretty good autograph. This is a collection that was bought very recently. Here's another signed Bormann letter. And this is to Gertie Troost, who is a designer. Her husband worked for Hitler, and then she ended up working for him. So she was one of the Nazi insiders. And again, that's Bormann's very unique signature on there.
Obviously, we are looking at some pretty unique signatures that came in today, and it's funny, when Eric was describing the signatures as being dark, in my head I was thinking, it's Hitler and Himmler. Yeah, it's pretty dark. Here's another dark figure from the Third Reich era, his signature. Up here on the letterhead, you can see Reinhard Heydrich. So this is the man who Hitler called the man with the iron heart. He was also known as Hitler's hangman. He's also known as the butcher of Prague. He's worth looking up. There was something called Operation Anthropoid, which was this amazing mission to assassinate this evil man who was one of the architects of the Holocaust. But anyway, here is a document that was signed by Heydrich.
So now we're going to check out what's in this big box. There's several items in here, and I haven't seen it yet. This is honestly the first time. I was notified of a few things that are in here, but there may be a few actual surprises, which is interesting. So the old Fallschirmjäger knife is working very well today, which is nice. Packing material in there. Put that behind me. Yeah, there's several items in here. Cut this again. All right, so pull this out, see what's in here. Oh yes, I remember this. This is a very early signed photograph of Hitler in his lederhosen, dated 1927, so that's very, very early. And if you notice the signature, it says USA. It's signed to a Hitler fan in the USA in 1927. I don't think I've ever seen one signed to somebody in the USA where it actually says USA. So that's really interesting. It's unique. It's one of those things that, well, I've seen plenty of signed photos over the years. I mean, it's one of the things that that go through our hands quite a bit. But yeah, to see something that unique, it's really, really incredible. And yeah, my friend who sent this told me about it, and but I haven't really seen it yet. So pretty interesting to see that. So I'm going to open this box, and this is really pretty spectacular, rare, early NSDAP Nazi Party grouping, and I'm going to start with this. This is a party membership book, and we open it up. Here's the guy. His name is Hans Huber, and this is the early style of these were actually hand signed by Hitler, and that's his signature right here. But what's really interesting about this to me is Hitler signed in pencil here, which he normally didn't, which I don't know if he met him in person. This would have been issued with the signature over here, and then maybe he got this one in person. But it has all the dues and the stamps. You had to pay money in dues, and had some other information in there. But this is one of the earlier ones. Later on, when the party got bigger and bigger, Hitler would stamp his name in these books. There's some more documents in here that belong to the same guy. There's a picture of him a little bit later. Lot of interesting paper here, all to the same guy. And you just don't see stuff like this. American soldiers who brought things home generally didn't bring things like this home. This is his SA group right here. This came from a family in Germany, and a friend of mine owns this, and he put it on loan to the museum. Now, on this card, this is a really early party card, and this is so early. This is a 1920 stamp, and it's stamped by Drexler, Anton Drexler, and this one's by Hitler. But this is probably, I would say, the earliest one I've seen. Later on, I think these were stamped by Hitler. But this all belonged to the same guy. Now, we're going to get into some of the medals or the badges in here. This is his set of golden party badges. And I'm fumbling with this because I have gloves on. Bear with me. This is his golden party badges. That's the large format. And this is the lapel version. And that was for continuous membership in the NSDAP. And of course, this being an early set, his number is on here. They're both on there. Each one has it. And his number was, what did I say on here? Very early number. I think it's 5721. Is that right? Yeah. 5721. That's a very low number for party members. So he would have been the 5,721st member. So this also belonged to the same person, and this is called a Coburg badge, and this is probably one of the most rare Nazi badges. It's in the top ones, and it also has a rare stick pin version right here. And I've never had one. I have another one in our collection, but I've never seen one that has a screw back like this. It's really rare. And these, I have some notes on here that was sent to me. The Coburg badge were only issued, it was only about 450, they believe, that were ever made. And it's thought that less than 100 exist today. And this is what we call the first pattern. There's also a later pattern that's not quite as rare. And again, this was all from the same guy. And to get a grouping like this that's still together, I mean, usually things like this get scattered to the wind. You know, the golden party badges will go to someone who collects those. This might go to a rare badge collector. This may go to a paper collector. But and another thing to point out, this is just how early this is. I mean, this is a really early party member. And the SA group he belonged to was called the Rosenheim Group, which was the first Nazi party chapter that was formed outside of Munich. So it's pretty historically significant when it comes to Nazi party history, and it's important to the history of what became World War II and everything else. So it's very interesting. We're really happy to get this on loan for a while at the museum and share it with you, because most people would never see something like this.
Now, when we are looking at different historic items from the Third Reich era, sometimes you'll hear us use words like, amazing or things like that. And just to be clear, when we use some of those descriptive words, we're not talking about the quality of the individuals. Obviously, this was a hateful ideology that was abhorrent, and it's good that it was defeated during World War II. But we are talking about like the quality of the artifacts themselves. So again, this is a grouping that we just haven't ever seen anything like it before, for it to be so early and so complete. And why is it that we want to study, historic artifacts from the Third Reich era and some of the people? Well, as I've said before, history changes, but human nature doesn't. So there was something about the Nazi Party that attracted this individual. And when we learn more about the artifacts and we learn more about the individuals, well, we are learning a little bit more about human nature. And when we learn about human nature, well, we can kind of recognize different patterns and kind of be ready for when some of these hateful ideologies start to rear their ugly heads again.
The last one in the envelope that just came in is a series of correspondence between a man named Walter Burry and Albert Bormann, who was another Martin Bormann's brother, who also worked for the party. And it's a series, this is the envelope, and this is a series of correspondence where Mr. Burry was asking for a signed photo, and he was a party member and one of the loyal people. And this is not too, this is pretty early in Hitler's reign, 1933, and it's a series signed by Albert where he has said it's not possible because Hitler's away. And so there's like 3 letters from Albert Bormann saying he was sorry, and then on the third attempt, which dates all the way to 29 December of 1933. And this is all in Hitler's stationery from the Chancellery. And he finally got his prize, and Hitler was able to hand sign a photo. Again, this is a Hoffman photograph, and this is a little bigger. Most of them are usually that real photo postcard size. This is a little bit bigger. And again, a very dark, bold, smooth fountain ink signature, hand signed by Hitler. This is not printed, it's not a stamp or anything like that. So he finally got his prized photograph of his leader, Adolf Hitler, or if you're from the UK, Adolf Hitler.